Thank you very much, Nkubwa. Papa Bukamba, it's how we call him. And I'm really glad to be here. I thank Stacy and her team for inviting me to share something that is deep in my heart. Not only because DRC is my country, and I feel like I have to give back somehow, but what is happening there is really what many are still struggling to understand, how a country that rich with potential for every kind, but still struggling to take off. And this paper just came out, I think, last week. I sent Stacy a copy as a discussion paper, but it's we've been working on it for the last 2 years or so. So this is really the first time that we tried to put together the potential, agricultural potential in DRC and the malnutrition situation, and we conclude that it's indeed a paradox. So before we get into the discussion, this is the outline. First, I'll try to link agricultural health and nutrition. Why do why does it matter to link agricultural health and nutrition together? Second, I will briefly touch on DRC potential for agricultural development, and then how the country use this potential, and what are the implications of this small potential, and of course, what do we do from now? I think that's, I guess, the most important thing, is not only to revisit what is not working, but what do we do individually, as a community, or as a country. So first, just a quick overview of how agricultural health and nutrition come together. To produce in agriculture, you need assets, you need time, you need knowledge. Of course, that's applied also for other activities beside agriculture. But in addition to asset, financial or physical assets, and time and knowledge, you need health, because you need a healthy farmer to go on the field to perform activities. So health becomes an input into agricultural production. But at the same time, you need nutrition, because nutrition prevents bad health, so to speak. And we will see later on how nutrition can, like, you know, if you are deficient in iron, you have your cognitive ability is maybe reduced, and you won't be able to perform agricultural activities. But at the same time, agriculture itself also affects the quality and quantity of health and nutrition. Why? Because, you know, after you produce, you go to the market, you generate some income, and the saving that you get allows you to acquire additional knowledge that is fed back into agricultural production, or the same saving can allow you to increase assets, but also the money you generate from agriculture allows you to get food, quantity, quality, and to buy also health goods, other goods, and the health goods increase your health, and health then feeds back into agricultural production, as we saw earlier. The same thing happened to, let's see. Yes, food also increase your quality and quantity of your health, as does nutrition, and then you have a complete cycle. So you can link both agriculture, health, and nutrition. So if one of them is not working properly, the whole cycle is broken. And in case of DRC, this part here, I promise not to move. This part is the one not working properly. So now let's take a look at some of the highlights of DRC potential for agricultural development. First, you have 80 million of hectares of arable land, and only less than 10%, like 4 million irrigable, but less than 10% has actually been cultivated as of now. When you look at water, DRC is the most water-rich country in Africa. 52% of Africa's surface water reserve, rivers, lakes, and wetlands are found in the DRC. And someone told me that in the next 50 years, DRC will be fighting another war for water. Because, you know, the Sahara Desert is expanding and people will come down into the Central Africa, and where is the whole, most of water is in the DRC. So they don't have any irrigation problem in the DRC. And in terms of climate, it's a diverse, you have equatorial weather in eastern province, you know, Equateur, the northern part of Maniema, Bandung, and so forth. You have humid tropical weather, you have tropical weather, and then coastal weather in the west of Bakum. Basically, you can grow everything in DRC year-round. Everything. If you cannot grow it in the north, you can grow it in the south. So that's how blessed the country is. And when you combine all of that, can I move?
Yes.
I can. All right. So you have this vast agricultural development domain. When you combine accessibility to the market and agricultural potential, the first one is what is the first act is the to Atlantic, from Atlantic to Cabinda. So this one here, this is the Atlantic Ocean. From here to this is the first axe of agricultural development. So you can through this axe here. These are the crops that one can develop. You have cassava, maize, rice, peanuts, beans. I mean, yeah, almost everything. Axe 2, this is the mining cities, hinterland of the Katanga province. So here, these are this shows the second axe. The third, the Great Lakes region. This one here. And the fourth, the northern part of Equateur. This is the northern part of Equateur here. And the fifth, the hinterland of Kisangani to the Pool Malibu. Kisangani is here. So all the way to Kinshasa, there is a potential to develop agricultural activities. So there is no place in DRC except maybe here where you cannot grow crops. And I mean, I didn't mention livestock. I didn't mention fisheries, for which potential is huge. So unfortunately, when you look at the trend of agricultural production since 1961 to 2009, something is wrong. In 2009, the level of production is lower than 1961. Something went wrong, and that's why we are trying to figure out. So it's not only agriculture, it's not only crops. So we have cereals, but it also applies to livestock. Somehow, somewhere, it seems like the country as a whole just stopped producing. And when you compare the yield, that's how much you get for a piece of land, Cassava is the most produced and the most consumed crop in the DRC. The world has managed to increase the yield for cassava, but DRC is still lagging behind. What about maize? It seems like we stopped in 1961, but everybody else was going up.
Maybe because of economy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the mistake. The curse. And same thing with plantain. So I just picked the crop the food item that are most consumed. Plantain, the same thing. Rice, yeah. We are even lower. The yield is even lower in 2009 compared to 1961. So despite the huge potential, somehow we are missing out on take advantage of this huge potential. And as a result, what do you expect? Where do we get our food from? Outside. Importing food. And in 2008, to reach 300 million of food import. This is twice the size of the budget of the Ministry of Agriculture. 300 million of food import for a country with that huge potential. Something is wrong, and someone needs to do something. And of course, guess what? We are the biggest losers. This is the Global Hunger Index that IFPRI produces every year. And in 2011, so we compare the change in that hunger index between 1990 to 2011. Guess which country has the least? I mean, that it depends how you look at it. The biggest loser is the DRC, and by far. This hunger index here includes children mortality, children weight, and the share of malnourished population. So we use 3 attributes to compute the global hunger index, and DRC is the country scoring the highest, but going the other way. The same thing. This is the map of the same index. DRC and Cote d'Ivoire are the only country for which this index increased between 1990 and 2011 across Africa. So it seems like everyone is more or less doing something. Yeah, Cote d'Ivoire, one can make the case that because of the war, but this is 1990 to 2011. So that's what I call the biggest paradox